And we return for the first week that matters in a long time. Schmeat Nation 3 podcast playoff edition. Adam, welcome to the
We
big championship.
we made it to playoffs. I can't believe we're here already. Feels like just last week we were in Vegas.
It's
Oh
been a
man,
hell
the
of a
season
season.
truly flies by. Yeah,
Yeah, to think that we've gone through 14 weeks of NFL. Now we got 3 left, hopefully 3 left, maybe
yeah, it's
less.
an exciting three. Lots of chances for people to get their name on the trophy for the first time, and lots of chances for that first person who's going to get their name on there a second time.
There's just
Crazy.
something in the air. Something in
Yeah,
the air during this week for sure. So we'll jump in as we normally do. We'll quickly breeze through the matchups, try to keep this short. Don't need to extend this one
hmm
out with slightly less games, and we'll roll right into it. No power rankings
yeah,
this week, but of course we'll check how we're doing in the game predictions.
yep. Sounds
Not
good.
well. Jumping in, pretty big win here. Ultimately didn't matter because everyone else lost, but I pull off a 21-point win, but getting 110. I think when everything settled, Connor only needed to get 101. So he clinches his first round bye here due to tiebreaker over Jasper. And I pretty good momentum for my team. Cruising through into the playoffs, finally stringing together some wins again. So
Yeah, good momentum for you, Connor. Sort of limping into the bye week. I feel like the last couple weeks have been a bit questionable for him. And then the Ramondre Stevenson injury could be devastating for his team. So it's a good thing that he locked up the bye. We'll just say that.
yeah, we'll peek into the bracket in a bit, but I think we said it last week. I'm a little concerned, and having someone go down never works, never great.
Yeah.
And then, as we thought,
Game of the
Eddie
week.
pulls out the upset over Reese. Was talking mad shit. Eddie's team is what a shame he couldn't squeak in there. He did lose
Yeah.
Debo, but his team is still so good. It's something you expect to see in the playoffs, but maybe made too many moves on the wrong week there.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he will be pretty secure in that bottom bracket, but you never know. His team won, winning 5 of the last 6 weeks. I mean, it just shows what the potential that he had and what could have been. This is a year that you just try and forget as soon as possible if you're Eddie.
Yeah, he's pulling up the mock drafts, and obviously Reese's champion of late has been Fields, so not
hmm
starting him definitely hurts. I think my favorite thing about this matchup is that if Reese started Tannehill, he would have won. So Eddie was so deep in his head in the Snapchat group talking about how he's starting Tannehill, and Reese started
I
questioning himself.
forgot
So
about that.
that
My
is
God.
vicious, but you know, he can't make that same mistake in playoffs. He gets his boy back. So
Yeah,
good work, Eddie.
true.
That's the mind. That's the mind powers of the smack talk. Jumping
Yeah.
in here in the Lamb Bowl, not even close. Doesn't need to be harped on. Just unfortunate all around for Seth. I think no one really came
Yeah.
to play, and Kyler got hurt. So
Yeah, the Kyler Murray injury, just like that's always the worst thing in fantasy where it's 3 plays into the game and he just has a non-contact injury. So just that and Devontae Adams not getting his normal share of, whatever happened in that Raiders versus Rams game was crazy. But it's unfortunate. Again, a year that Seth will just try and forget. Got to make it out of the losers bracket though.
yeah, and the another team we thought might be able to string a run together, Brad, scoring top 6, I think, in points on the week because it was a pretty low scoring week, and even with a couple goose eggs. So his team's good. It'll be exciting to see him in the bottom bracket. He should feel pretty safe in comparison there.
hmm
And another large upset here. Jamie pulling away 6-8, ending 8th in the regular season. Crazy run for her. The team's finally realizing its potential. And Adam, my God, less than 100 in week 14. You have to play this week too. Ooh, how's it feel?
I'll just say it right off the bat. It was the first week of this football season where I watched 0 minutes of Red Zone. So I just, I don't watch Red Zone if my team goes and lays an egg. So, I'll be sitting in bed next weekend, next Sunday,
My God, the
cheering the
bad
boys
juju
on.
wasn't there. And oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one that you just wipe the slate clean. Jonathan Taylor bye week, he would have got you
Yeah. It was such
something.
it was like a massive week for me too because I could have locked up the bye if I had just won. But once again, it's not in the cards. Gonna have to go the long way to the championship.
That's a tough one. If your team's good enough, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself, as I barely walked into the playoffs. Jumping in here, another massive upset. Kalen's team on the behind of a 40-point Evan Engram game. Pulled up quite the upset. Editing Kieran, it would cue coldest take alive right here. Not to super jinx it, but I also think super jinxing it would be hilarious. But there's really just no way.
Yeah.
That's wild. I can't believe we said that. That's crazy. We were dumb. And Parker still was second most points on the week, so he's got to
Yeah.
feel okay. But
Yeah, this was just a week for Parker where he was like, please no one get hurt. And I think he came out unscathed. So not too terrible for him. Still locks up that number one seed. So not much to say in terms of this. But the disrespect of not even playing a kicker, too.
what the is it? Oh my God. I mean, Jesus Christ. Kalen's a team that can do some damage in the losers bracket, put someone down in the blast game when you wouldn't think
Yeah, if
they
he
would
has
be.
one,
So
if the stars line up for him, it could happen. But we'll see.
yeah, my goodness, he did have a lot there, and the bye it's been locked in pretty much all season for Parker, and it couldn't come at a better time. I think Dallas Goddard's gonna be able to shake some rust off next week and should be ready for him. So we'll check that out, and then Jasper with just a clean win here. He's got some good momentum going in as well. He'll get all his guys back. I mean, it's just like you see how strong Jasper's team can be because these zeros and bad
I mean,
performance
this was a mega bye week for
buys.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's crazy.
So he's definitely got a championship roster together. So yeah, should be a crazy, crazy playoffs. I don't think there's too much to say about this one. I mean, not a ton of
Yeah, this one
implications here.
this one seems like it was written even with a 33-point game from Justin Jefferson, which I think puts him at like wide receiver one. Yeah, so unfortunate. He had two advantages and it nets you 6 wins. So you really don't need much of a roster outside of having the best wide receiver and the best tight end. Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's what it takes.
Jumping in here, peeking in, I need to really dial in the knowledge going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
do
you
some
need to take
mixing
a
as we
big,
need.
long look at what you did this year during the off season and see how you can improve for next year. Because only 6 wins above 500. Come on, Kieran.
That's terrible. It's terrible.
Anyway, not much
I
more to
was
say there
just doing
either.
mental math in my head. The numbers weren't looking great.
It's just
Jumping
bragging
in,
rights for me.
this is how it shakes down. Here we got Parker, number one seed, 10-4, securing that bye week. He'll play the winner of Reese versus Adam. We'll jump in these matchups, and then Connor on the other side, 9-5, slips on into that bye week because of 9 points for points found edge over Jasper, and he'll play the winner of me or Jasper. A little rivalry week matchup there, and in the lower seed, we got all these games. So reminder, you're safe as long as you're not here in 3 weeks. So winners move up and losers move down. So good
Yeah,
luck down there.
it's always exciting following that losers bracket, but this is where the men play up here.
Oh, I can just edit the bracket. How wild would that be?
Commissioner Powers, man.
All right, I'll give it to you. You want to talk about yourself first or me?
Yeah, we can go into my game first, and this is a game I am dreading.
Three, two, one, zero, zero, and liftoff.
I've been saying it all year. I don't see what's happening with Reese's team, and here's where it's going to come back to bite me in the ass. I'm self handicapping so hard, but I just know that I'm not going to win this game. Obviously, I'm going into it, I think I have a championship team. My team definitely has the potential to go off, but just based on the karma that I built up over this year in terms of Reese's team, there's no shot.
The amount of sound bites that he could take and send to his players in the DMs. You have exposed yourself to, it's not even worth, if you win, it's just relief that you're not going to get harassed. The risk of
I know.
losing, the endless torment, you'll have a whole season of that. You
Yeah,
can't do it.
especially if Reese goes on to win a championship, I'll never hear the end of it. So come on, boy. I can't go into this with an unbiased opinion. Like I have no idea who's gonna win this.
It's the excitement when you get in the playoffs because it's just the teams are good. Reese's team is really shaken down. I mean, I don't love the flex, but Jerry Judy looks pretty good now. I mean,
Uh,
especially with Russ out, somehow that kind of works for him. Like, I think he's just
he
been
showed he
playing
has the
pretty
potential to
solid
put up
recently.
30.
33 last week, now has Arizona. Like, at the X Factor, George Pickens will be interesting because he's not that great of a play most weeks, but you know he has the ability to go absolutely off. So
Yeah, and it's gonna be this week.
that's kind of the fear. Rocking with the heat of Jerick McKinnon there. The flex is going to be
Yeah,
big in this one. I
I
mean,
don't
there's
know
some
if I'm
tight end
chasing
uncertainty
points
too.
there, but there's still time to switch around the roster.
Yeah, we'll watch you tinker right up until game time.
Yeah, yeah, I
This
did
one is
my
insane.
yeah. It is certainly a wild matchup, and it could go either way. We'll see.
My goodness, yeah. Just the fantasy storylines weaving themselves in and around these matchups. I worry about Philly, but he before the bye looked like an alien out there
Yeah,
on the field. He's so much faster than everyone, and that type of talent and skill is hard to go up against. But there's
yeah.
no way Reese is super excited about the matchup. But
I think that as long as he's healthy, and that's, a big if, I think he can outrun anyone, like you said, and I think it won't matter what the defense is. But if he's still dealing with that shoulder problem, I think that could be a problem for him. And that probably is his win condition is the Justin Fields play. So we'll see.
yeah, I mean 100%. I feel like on paper your running backs are significantly better. There's always a chance, but you really would need 2 touchdowns from these guys to get over 20 points. They're not going to do it in the passing game, or they
Yeah,
haven't. And then the wide receivers are probably, I guess Reese probably has an edge, but some
I think
underperforming and
so. Yeah, especially with the way Mike Evans has been playing this year, I think I would give the wide receiver advantage to him and the tight end advantage. I mean, I just have not been able to figure out the tight end position since Zach Ertz went down. I think I've played 2 tight ends on goose egg weeks. So trying to see if Dawson Knox can snipe a touchdown from Stephon Diggs, but we'll see.
yeah, against Miami, I mean, that should be a shootout, but the Buffalo weather has been an issue, and I think you're gonna be the benefactor of that because a low scoring game for the tight end compared to just an abysmal game from Diggs. If this game was in Miami, it'd be much different, but you look at the
Mm,
forecast in Buffalo and it's looking bad. So it's super annoying for Diggs owners because there's really, you could blame it on Sauce last week, but the conditions were just really bad. It was like sideways sleet, rain. So, and they're predicting that again. So
mhm.
the weather could be huge in that one, and that's the guy Reese needs. And then, yeah, I mean, George Kittle against Seattle. Seattle's looked so bad, so it could be a
Yeah, but
really
I'm
good
hoping
Thursday.
Christian McCaffrey is the benefactor of that.
Oh my God, this game
Especially
tomorrow is
with
huge.
yeah, with Brock
Holy
Purdy
shit.
behind center, I think Christian McCaffrey is more of the one that benefits from that.
Damn, we should have a good look at this one because he's got Tyler Lockett too after tomorrow's game. So
Hmm.
I really don't know. It's really hard for me. Are you taking yourself?
I mean, I have to take myself, but there's no confidence behind it.
Oh man. And Minnesota's just been getting wrecked on the ground too. I do feel like you have that edge, but those wide receivers have been weak for you, and Amon-Ra versus Sauce is going to be such a good matchup too.
Yeah, we'll
But
see what happens there.
I need to climb back in the game somehow, so I'll go Reese here just to make it spicy. So we have some
All
things
right.
on there. He did get you back in week 7. I forgot about
Yeah, it
that
was
one.
another week where my team laid an egg.
Oh
My
god,
team
that's been
has done
happening.
that in the past, yeah. But I do have that pop up. So, which fight deeds are going to show up on Sunday? That's what it comes down to.
That's what it needs. And Saturday too.
I'm in Colorado, dude. I'm near Dean, channeling the inner Dean.
He's right next door, dude. You get a
Yeah.
picture of Dean, it's like an instant win. There we go, and jumping in onto the other side of the bracket. Wow, man, what a matchup this week.
Round 3, fight!
Playing the
Yeah.
rival. Picked it at the
Rivalry.
beginning, had no idea it would come down to this one. But my god.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jasper
he
came
can
back with a
literally
vengeance in the rematch.
and this is much more what his team can do than the first week. I mean, he is really fleshed out, and these Minnesota Viking wide receivers always fuck me because it's like there's no reason. I think literally this point gap was from like a 27 point Adam Thielen game. Like if we go down and look, I mean 21 I guess was what it was. Like
Hmm.
there's no reason he should do this,
Especially
except
against
that he
New
did it
England.
last week. But man, that
Yeah.
sucks. I'm worried about that one because I feel like the rest is kind of close. Like I think I beat him at QB.
Hmm.
I definitely beat him at running back, but not really because Alvin Kamara could go off.
I
But
think what this game comes down to is the matchups. And from what I'm looking at on Jasper's side, Jared Goff at New York, that could be a ground game. Tyreek Hill at Buffalo. Like you said, there could be crazy weather there. And then Josh Jacobs. I feel like New England always has a good run defense. So it could be tough for Jasper's team. But if there's anyone that's going to overcome those weather problems, it's probably those guys that Jasper have. So
yeah, his
we'll
team is
see
looking
again.
nasty. I will say I like looked and saw Waller was just on the wire, but when I was doing the trade with Seth, there was a large part of it where I was like, fuck, Greg D plays Arizona, the worst team against tight ends. Like every tight end goes off against these guys. Like, and I'm just if
Yeah.
it comes down to this as the reason I don't win, that would just be kicking myself, but I'm going with Greg D right off
Greggy
the
D.
trade, taking some power from Seth. But the
Yeah.
matchups for me are just absolutely insane. Like Tennessee's trash against quarterbacks and wide receivers. I've got the stack there. The Chargers are
Hmm.
trash against running backs. I've got the king. I'm worried about the San Francisco matchup. That's kind of the loose ends, but
Yeah, I
otherwise I'm
would
pretty
be
hyped about the matchups.
worried about Brandon Ayuk as well. Is it confirmed if Debo is out this week? Do we
I think
know?
he's got to be missing this week
Yeah.
at the least, but I'm hoping the 12s can rattle Brock Purdy. I mean, I was about to buy tickets and go just to get an extra voice in there, get some sound effects going, but
You could yell from your apartment, man. Go to Parker's and yell from the balcony.
start
Just launch some
screaming. So
cannons off.
I'm terrified. I think this one could be a high scoring game, and I'm hoping that he just lays some duds, but that
Yeah.
doesn't seem to happen for me. So we'll see how it goes. It's the player rankings all the way down are great on both sides. I mean,
Yeah.
we've really worked through and it should be exciting. It's a good one. So
These
I'll
are the
take myself,
matchups.
of course.
Yeah, these are the matchups we love to see in playoffs where two Titans just come against each other. But I'll go the opposite. I'll take Jasper, man.
Let's do it. Yeah, I do. It'll be interesting to see if me and Jasper would have beat both of you guys because that's what it feels like this week.
Hmm.
On paper, I feel really good about both of our teams, but only one of us can move on to play
Yeah,
a
Connor.
potentially limping Connor. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the big one. I took Connor down last week, easy. So
Yeah, this is a good matchup. I will be keeping my eye on this one.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So there's the two playoffs. Let's run it down quickly through the consolation. Get some picks in here. This is a great one. Top of the
Mhm.
consolation ladder. I think if you win in this one, there's no chance you can be playing in the bottom game. So that'll be
Yeah, if
good.
you win this, then you're safe. So it's a good spot to be for both of these people.
This is a huge one. And again, I really feel like Arizona or these Denver receivers get slight bump with Russ being gone. I think that could just work out for them.
Yeah,
But Eddie's team is great. I mean, how can you pick against Eddie unless you're going with the Flames?
yeah, no, it has to be Eddie here. I don't see how it could be any other team. He built his team very well after a rough start, so there's no
Yeah,
reason that he should be fighting for the last spot. I think
it's
he's safe.
definitely shaped up nicely. And I normally would be like Houston. It's a pretty shit matchup for QBs, but the Chiefs always throw. I mean, they'll get Mahomes 3 touchdowns,
I
and
don't even think it'll matter because he's got Pacheco as well. So
yeah, that's true. And Pacheco's been on fire lately, so are we both going with Eddie?
yeah,
It feels bad because I feel like I should go with Jamie for the upset, but his team
hmm
feels like one of the better ones in the league right now.
yeah,
And jumping down, this one another big one because you don't want to see yourself down at the bottom. We got Brad
yeah.
versus Max. Oh, the winner of this can
I
also
think if
not
you
end
win
up.
this one,
Yeah.
you're also safe. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
these are huge as well. And Brad's team has been on an absolute tear, but we know that at any moment Max can go up, and Max has the win over Brad earlier in the season. So
yeah, a close one. Max always beats the Lamb boys by very small amounts. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here in this matchup.
yeah, he keeps it close. I'll go Brad here. I mean, the team similar to Eddie's has really shaped up nice. I don't love DJ Moore. I don't think Brad loves DJ Moore, but it really is kind of his only option to play. So
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, there's no reason to take anyone other than Brad in this matchup. I think he just has a dominant team. So
yeah, and I really feel like Cincinnati's gonna feast all over TB12. So, and then Kelsey might just not be needed against Houston. So,
hmm
some tough matchups on Max's side. And
hmm
jumping down, the final game, you definitely want to get out of this one, but it's not terrible. You're still in
yeah,
the exact same position next week, win or play for the play for the loser chip. So,
yeah,
I mean,
big.
Kalen off such a strong performance.
And Seth losing Kyler Murray just a massive blow. But even just ignoring that, I got to chase the points here. I think Evan Engram is gonna. I think Trevor Lawrence finally found a favorite target there. I think Evan Engram, just after a monster performance like that, not necessarily going to follow it up, but I think he'll do. He jumps up to number 4 in the tight end position ranking. Dude, what? Yeah.
Oh man, it really is. It's like one of those Madden moments where your guy has a massive game and they give him the upgrade. It feels like that could be there because Trevor Lawrence just looked different coming into that one, and he seems to have found something. So,
hmm
yeah, it's tough because you see he's gonna play Brock Purdy, and you wonder how much they'll try to use Brock Purdy in Seattle. So I'll go with
That's the
Kalen.
yeah. Oh, I was also going to take Caleb, but I was going to say in my other league, my pivot from Kyler Murray is also Brock Purdy. So I
You feel
stand
great.
resilient with you, Seth. In fact, I'm going to switch my pick to Seth. Let's go. I'm riding the Brock Purdy train.
You doing it? Let's do it.
Yeah, I like
I love
Seth.
it.
Let's
We
go.
got some distribution there. So damn, crazy. Playoffs have come. They're here.
Playoffs are here.
I can't believe it. It's
Neither
wild.
can I.
It's always
Feels
sad. I mean, the
it's
season's
different. Yeah, it feels different.
quickly coming to an end, but I also can't believe we've had podcasts weekly. So
I
good on
know,
us.
right? Even on vacation. Let's go. We'll
Yeah,
make it happen. It's
electric.
important.
Phoning in. So
Yeah.
there you go. Any other words?
Nah, good luck to everyone out there in the playoffs, Reese. You're going down. I believe in my team. Let's go. I'll be tuning into Red Zone this week. Can't lay another egg.
Let's do it. You'll be cheering the guys on. And Jasper, good luck. I think some unfortunate seeding for whoever loses in our one. Or maybe
Yeah.
one of us will lay a dud and it don't matter. So
hmm
all right, Shmi Nation, keep battling. been loving the league this year. I'll throw up a little bracket in our Discord and we can fill it out and get your picks in. So
Let's
see you
go.
guys on the flip.
Yep.